Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. This episode is called Lie Detection is the Next Great Superpower. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, follow, and comment on the show. I also want to tell you about HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a service which allows you to purchase live phone calls with more than 100 celebrities. You can purchase a live 15-second call for $19.95 or a live 30-second call for $29.95. There are lots of great movie stars, TV stars, and athletes to choose from. You can buy one for yourself. You can buy one as a gift for somebody you know. Whatever the occasion, whatever the needs, sometimes it's just fun to talk to a celebrity. So give it a try. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. One of the reasons that movies about superheroes are doing so well is because so many people feel so helpless when it comes to solving many of their issues. What they don't realize is that they can develop and possess the greatest superpower in the world and do it in a way that will solve many of their problems, financial or otherwise. It's a superpower that once you perfect, it will change your entire life and dramatically improve it. That superpower is the ability to detect lies. Now, everyone would like to think they can detect lies, but the truth is that most people can't tell when they're being lied to. And the reason for that is that lies are now everywhere. They're so pervasive that what's happening is that people are losing their ability to recognize the truth on those rare occasions when it appears out of nowhere. Politicians are lying 24 hours a day about everything. Marketers are lying about everything. People are lying about everything. Institutions are lying about everything. Now, learning to detect lies is a skill set that can be learned just like any other skill. If you want to learn how to properly detect lies, then go to YouTube and type in how to detect lies, and there will be countless instructional and tutorial videos from experts all over the world teaching you how to detect a lie. Experts from the CIA, experts from the FBI, experts from academia, criminal experts, lay experts. It is amazing. And it's really informative and instructive. So you should give that a try. Now, if you put in the requisite amount of time and truly study the information about lie detection in those videos, then that will help you throughout your entire life when you're dealing with deceptive people. Learning how to detect lies will prove to be an invaluable superpower that will save you an immense amount of time, money, and aggravation throughout your life. But people lying to you on a daily basis is only one part of the problem. The other more significant problem is the one caused by institutional and organizational deception. Also, it's perpetrated by marketers lying. The lies that people will tell you throughout your entire life will try to deceive you out of your time, your money, your resources on such a massive and regular basis that if you're oblivious to what's really going on, then you will undoubtedly wake up one day and find out that they have won and you have lost. Or even more diabolical and common will be another scenario, and that is that you have lost everything and you don't even know who stole your resources from you, because that's just how good the deceptions were. That's why the ability to detect lies being spread by institutions and news organizations is just as important as the ability to detect when another person is lying to you. So how can you detect institutional lies or news lies when they're being told to you? That's what we're going to teach you next. The first step to determining whether an institution or organization is lying to you is to review their past record of statements. If you find that most of what they've said in the past has proven false, then you should immediately dismiss and ignore their current statements, as they almost certainly will also be untrustworthy. Next, you have to look at people making the statements on the behalf of those organizations or institutions. If they also have a dubious reputation for not being trustworthy, then you have to dismiss everything they say on behalf of those organizations. The next question you have to ask is, does the institution benefit by telling you what they're telling you? If so, then you have to employ doubt and skepticism, because at that point, their message may be transitioning from a statement to a marketing message. And that's always something that you have to be careful about. So what about news organizations? They seem to be lying 24 hours a day now. Virtually most of what they say is being discredited or cast in a bad light by their previous deceptions. So how do you manage to filter out the daily onslaught of lies pouring out of almost all of the news organizations? Well, the same rules apply here as they did to the other institutions. First, you have to ask yourself, who benefits financially from the story this news organization is trying to tell you? Next, you have to ask yourself, what has this news organization's past history been like when it comes to accuracy in their stories? Once you understand who is benefiting from a story, then that will reveal the true nature and intent, the agenda of that story. Is it one that simply tries to inform people, or is it trying to manipulate people into doing something that's not in their best interest? The next and really important aspect of this phenomena is to determine who's behind the story. Which person or organization is the financial source or the driving source behind this news story? I know this is going to come as a huge shock to people, but a lot of the news stories you see in the media and in print, they're bought and paid for by a third party. A lot of them. Once you know that, then you can keep track of their past accuracy and once again use it to judge their current efforts. Next, we have one of the greatest sources of lies and deception, and that is money. Whether it's in your personal life or in your professional life, you will constantly be interacting with people and organizations on a financial level. Whether you're buying or selling a car or a house or a financial investment, whether you're going on a date or spending money at the store or simply checking to see what the interest rates are on your investment. All these activities can and often will involve various degrees of deception. So what should you do about that? How do you detect when you're being lied to during a business transaction, a social interaction, or just in everyday commerce? The only way to manage or mitigate that sort of risk is to always assume that the other party in the financial transaction is lying. So you must always confirm everything. Confirm every dollar, confirm every detail, confirm every claim. You should always be polite, cordial, and professional about it, but your lifelong rule should be always, always, always confirm and double check everything you're being told and or shown when it comes to business and money. Don't ever allow anyone to rush you or tell you, just go ahead and sign here, and if there's a problem, you can come back tomorrow and we'll address it for you. That's always a warning sign and a huge red flag, because if something doesn't make sense today, it'll make even less sense tomorrow. So if you find yourself in a situation where someone is telling you something that doesn't feel right, or your gut is telling you they may be lying, then I want you to pull out a lie detector that almost everyone is carrying on them these days, and it's a smartphone. Point the smartphone at the individual you think may be lying to you and ask them to repeat what they just said so that you can record it on video. The reason you want to videotape them is because it's much harder for people to knowingly lie on camera, because they know that sort of video can be used against them in court and also in the media. So videotaping their attempts to deceive you will often prevent them from lying to you at all. And if someone says they have a policy against customers, allowing customers to videotape them, then tell them to state that policy on camera, because you intend to let the world know that they're being secretive and they're not being transparent. So there's a phenomena called pervasive video documentation. Whether you're engaging in substantial transactions like buying a car, getting an attorney's legal opinion, renting an apartment, or buying a house, asking your tax preparer or accountant for their opinion about something, regardless of what the important transaction or interaction is, you should always record it on video. Now, I know this is going to seem a little bit unusual, but believe me, there are many reasons you should do it. Are you about to have a contractor come over and give you a bid or a quote on some home renovation project? Then ask him some difficult questions on video. Is a police officer pulling you over for no apparent reason at all? Then pull out your smartphone and start videotaping the interaction. Are you going in for an appointment with a doctor or a dentist to get their consultation on a medical problem? Then you should videotape the entire consultation. Watch what happens when you do that. Are you meeting with a financial advisor to get some advice about a financial issue? Then you should videotape the entire conversation. Why? Because there's often a huge disconnect between what financial services people say and what the documents they ask you to sign say. And so videotaping the entire interaction will allow you to document everything that's going on, including some disparities. Is someone in public acting crazy with road rage or irrational or crazy behavior that is threatening in some way? The first thing you need to do is to start to video record the incident as you move away and try to leave the area. If they try to prevent you from leaving or they attack you in some way, then the video will document what's going on. Are you involved in a romantic relationship with someone that is constantly lying and arguing or cheating with you about everything? Do the two of you spend more of your time arguing with each other than you do anything else in the marriage or the relationship? Has a relationship or marriage therapy completely failed? Well, the next time you have a disagreement or an argument, then pull out your smartphone and start recording. Just watch how the presence of the video camera recording them will change their behavior in many instances. People who act irresponsibly or irrationally or dangerously will often stop that behavior when a camera starts to document it because they don't want evidence of that inappropriate behavior being used against them in the future. Cameras have a remarkable calming effect on irrational behavior. It's like splashing someone with a dose of reality. It can often force them to calm down and start behaving. Now, in some cases, cameras can cause crazy people or criminals to act even crazier. But when that happens, always make sure you have an exit strategy and know where the nearest door is, just in case they go completely crazy when you start taping them. There's another huge benefit to pervasive video documentation, and it's a financial one. Whether someone tries to rip you off or deceive you or physically assault you, if because of that behavior you have to take legal action against them and sue, the amount of money you can win in court will increase dramatically if you have video of the incident to document what happened in court or in the news media. Should you decide to share it with the press. Next, I want to tell you about some new truth detection technology that is soon going to be making its way to the marketplace. It's really interesting. There is professional grade technology which scans your brain waves and your neural patterns and can determine from those if you're lying. And it has a really high accuracy rate. There is also a lot of really clever AI software that is being developed for smartphone usage. My sources are telling me that it will be released in two forms. The lower grade category will be sold for commercial or retail use, and it will have some of its features disabled so that it can't be used on politicians, police, or other officials. The higher grade software will only be sold to professionals, and it will be able to scan police, politicians, and lawyers. Virtually anyone. I believe that you individually and society in general can dramatically reduce the amount of lies and deception that are being perpetrated against you and against society. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and we will talk to you soon.